Leonardo di Piero da Vinci, better known as Leonardo da Vinci, was born the 15th of April, 1452, in the town of Vinci, Florence, Italy. Throughout his life, he covered a host of artistic and scientific disciplines, especially standing out as an inventor, painter, architect, engineer, musician, botanist, mathematician, sculptor, and scientist. He was the son of a countrywoman called Caterina and Ser Piero, a rich notary. Hello everybody, we are Marina, Laura, Elena, Claudia, Mario and Palma, and we have decided to explain the multifaceted life of Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo showed great curiosity and talent, so his father allowed him to enter as an apprentice of the artist Verrocchio at the age of 17. With him, he learned painting and sculpture and worked on the construction of the dome of the Church of Santa Maria di Fiore, next to Brunelleschi. The Renaissance brought great advances in commerce and art, and led to cultural exchange. Already as an apprentice, Da Vinci introduced oil painting, a technique from the Netherlands that allowed greater control over the thickness of the paint, and which he used in the adoration of the Magi, his first work. After learning a wide range of techniques and having surpassed his teacher, he decided to look for new challenges. In 1482, he went to Milan and he met his duke and patron Ludovico Sforza. Under his protection, he carried out projects on hydraulics, mechanics, and architecture, as well as some pictorial works.
At that time, a new wave of Black Plague shocked Europe. Convinced that their overcrowding only worsened the stage, he made plans for the channeling of rivers, demonstrating deep notions of architecture and engineering. In 1483, he was taken on to make painting for the Church of San Francisco, the famous Virgin of the Rocks, in which is incorporated a new and innovative technique, the sfumato. This consisted in multiplying the layers of paint to achieve more imprecise contours, achieving a greater depth effect. Later, he would use it again in one of the most famous paintings in history, La Gioconda, known as the Mona Lisa. Thanks to the sfumato, he managed to create an optical effect in which the protagonist's smile seems to fade when we stare at it. This particularity has fascinated generations last centuries, creating a whole halo of mystery around it. But not only did painting take its time.
In 1494, he participated in the illustration of the work La Divina Proporzione by the mathematician Luca Pacioli. His rigorous drawings made him the creator of modern scientific illustration. In fact, some of them are still being studied today, such as the famous Vitruvian Man. In 1498, Leonardo finished another of his great works, the mural of the Last Supper, a biblical scene in which Jesus shares a table with the 12 apostles before being betrayed by Judas. It quickly became an iconic painting, making hundreds of artists from all over the continent come to contemplate it. It was painted directly on the wall, and for the scene Da Vinci moved away from the classical composition and tried to humanize the characters, something that certainly revived revolutionary in the historical context of the time. By 1500, French troops conquered the Duchy of Milan, and Leonardo decided to move to Venice.
His passion for science was growing. He attended the section of courses and then elaborating illustration describing the structure and functioning of the human body as anybody had done so far. A few years later, the governor of Milan offered him the position of architect and painter of the court. There he devised for him a castle and made a sketch for the oratory of Santa Maria la Fontana. However, fewer projects were made than he had thought. A new era of political instability forced him to leave the city. This time he went to Rome, and in the Vatican he lived a quiet state under the guidance of Papa Leon X. He drew maps and devised a great residence for the Medici family.
As
time went by, he received fewer orders, which were going to stop at the hands of other artists of the time. After the death of his projector and deeply disappointed, he left Italy to spend his last years of life in the Palace of Clocks in France. There, the French king gave him great respect, and he lived more as a member of the nobility than as an employee. His health gradually deteriorated until his death, the 2nd of May, 1519, at 67. He left all his belongings to his student Francesco Melzi, who returned copies of manuscripts and drawings of incalculable value to Italy. Without a doubt, Leonardo da Vinci was a genius ahead of his time, whose influence is still present 500 years later.